All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Aviator's Garage, I'm John. I got sent this trampoline, also known as a rebounder, by Bacan because they wanted me to tell you what my honest thoughts were. Well, all right, we're going to get into what rebounding is. We're going to get into unboxing this thing. We're going to get into putting it together, and we're also going to get into what the potential benefits are and what I truly feel about utilizing this piece of equipment. Is it good for you? Is it good for your workout? Let's get into it. All right, so first off, what is rebounding? Well, so here's an official definition. Rebounding is a form of exercise performed on a mini trampoline, also called a rebounder. It involves jumping, bouncing, or performing various movements on the trampoline utilizing an elastic surface to create a low-impact yet highly effective workout. Common rebounding movements, or pretty much the ones I figured out on my own, was basic bouncing. Just get on there and bouncing up and down without lifting your feet off the trampoline. Jumping jacks is another one, basically performing traditional jumping jack movements on the trampoline. I did this myself, and I noticed that they were a lot easier and they felt a heck of a lot less impactful on my body. Running in place, mimicking the motion of running while staying in one spot. And knee lifts is pretty common, alternating high knees during your bounce. I'm not gonna lie, my coordination wasn't that great, so I don't really have a good example of that on film. I'll try to get it for you. Side to side jumps or twists, engaging the core and improving balance. This is what I was probably most intrigued about, is that this here, when I was jumping on this thing, I noticed that I was engaging pretty much every single muscle group in my core, all the way down to my buttocks, quadriceps, and all the way down to my legs, shins, ankles, calves, you name it. And I noticed I was not getting out of breath, which is very interesting. And I developed a really good sweat. So why is rebounding so unique? Well, unlike traditional exercises, what it says here, rebounding causes the trampoline's elastic surface to absorb impact, which is huge. As I'm getting older now, spent 8 years in the Army, running around teaching at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center. My joints are jacked up. Plus, I also did a lot of dumb heavy lifting on my shoulders, my legs, my knees. I fell off the top of a few helicopters. We'll get into that in another story when I was in Iraq. But I do have some issues. So I want to make sure I can get a workout but not hurt myself or kill myself on a treadmill, which I have one of those. But the key about it is it reduces strain on joints, muscles, and bones while allowing vigorous movements that benefit cardiovascular health, balance, and strength, which is pretty cool. The key components of rebounding, it's low impact. It's a full body workout, suitable for all levels. So you don't have to be professional. You don't have to be one of those crazy freaking TikTokers that you see jumping off the 4-story buildings into a trampoline, bouncing all the way back up. You don't have to do any of that. You can be younger, older. This specific rebounder did come with a handle. I just did not attach it, which would go right about any adjustable height, I believe, through here. So if you have some type of disabilities or you need assistance getting on it, because it can be unstable at first, but it's super easy to get right in the groove. Another one that I love is that this is fun and energizing. So as soon as I built this thing and my kid saw me bouncing on it, my kid wanted to jump on it. So it's a great way for him to engage, get some kind of activity in a workout. Plus, thing is super sturdy and steady. I got 48 inches of space here on this bad boy. I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot of good use out of this. So rebounding can be used for various fitness goals, all right, such as weight loss, balance improvement, which I wanted to talk about, that lymphatic detoxification. Really interesting to me. I had no clue what that is or what it was until I got this thing. Building strength, overall reducing the risk of injury. But just make sure you don't fall off this thing when you're rebounding, because I don't want to say what kind of injuries can happen there. That's on you, not on me. But all right, so what are the benefits of rebounding? Well, why would you want to get this thing? Why would you want to start getting into it? Why would you want to incorporate this into your daily workout? Well, rebounding or bouncing on a mini trampoline offers a wide range of health benefits for your physical and mental well-being. Here's a breakdown. Number 1, it improves cardiovascular health. Well, that makes perfect sense. I'm bouncing on this thing. I maybe did about 5 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, because I'm testing it and make sure. I'm already starting to sweat. But I was not out of breath. That was very interesting to me. I was sweating, generating up a storm. My endocrine system was going up, my body temperature was going up, therefore my body's trying to cool myself off. I know my metabolism is shooting up. My heart rate started increasing, but at a very steady, nice pace versus doing those HIIT workouts. All of that in itself with cardiovascular is going to help reduce blood pressure for me. I don't know if anybody out there has specific health issues, but I know if you keep doing something for a while, cardiovascular conditioning has definitely lowered my blood pressure. And also, I know I still have a lot of lbs to lose, but it's been helping. All right. Number 2, it has low impact on the joints. All day long, I could already feel this. I noticed that when I do jumping jacks, my ankles hurt, my knees hurt, my hips hurt. Oddly enough, my shoulders hurt. It's probably because I just lifted too much heavy weight. But on this, I didn't feel any of that pain when I was doing that. So pretty interesting. So what they're saying is it could be very helpful for people who have any kind of joint issues or arthritis issues. So it's something to think about. This is the interesting one. Number 3 is enhances lymphatic flow. The up and down motion stimulates the lymphatic system, which helps detoxify the body and flushing out toxins and waste products. Interesting. Your heart pushes your blood around, so it's a muscle. You have your stomach and your bowels. Those are muscles. They contract, they squeeze around stool, and then you have your bladder contracts, it pushes out urine, right? Your lymphatic system doesn't have any of that. It relies on you moving in order to start cycling all that stuff through. But when you get on this thing and you bounce up and down, the G-forces actually engage all of that. So as they're engaging all of that, guess what they're doing? They're starting to push it and move it out. How? I don't know if it goes through the blood or whatever it is, and then it gets into your urine. Doesn't matter. The point is that this was figured out. And we'll get into how NASA figured that out. Anyway, so if that's the case, detoxifying, it's also going to help boost your immune function, which is great. So the other thing, number 4, strengthens muscles and bones, engages various muscle groups, including legs, cores, back, improving strength and balance, and it helps increase bone density, reducing the risk of osteoporosis. The only thing I could say that it would probably make that happen is your body's adjusting to the G-forces when you're coming down. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm not a neurosurgeon, doctor, or anything like that, so please don't quote me, but it's pretty interesting. So as you get older, this is one that's very important. Number 5, it boosts balance and coordination. So you're bouncing on this thing, you have to stay in one spot. I got 48 inches to work with here. I want to make sure I'm bouncing up and down on that. Also, I'm engaging what's going on inside my inner ear. I'm using my eyes. I'm looking at the horizon. I'm looking around. I'm really starting to get into some centric small muscles that are going to keep me on this, and also therefore engaging my coordination, which is going to keep the longevity of that going. So as people get older, the number one 911 call is from people falling. So this could possibly help prolong that for me later on. So I'm pretty excited about that. So right here it says beneficial for injury recovery or fall prevention. So 6, it adds in weight loss. Aids in weight loss. Rebounding burns calories efficiently, contributing to weight management or loss, promotes fat loss while building lean muscle. So pretty interesting. It's cardiovascular. Number 1, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to be very careful what you eat, and you're going to have a diet or whatever, the macros and all that other stuff. Holiday season, it's going to be really tough. A lot of candy, a lot of good food around. So if I can get a jump on that now, hopefully it'll work. But I do know me sweating, it's telling me I'm getting a good workout. If I'm getting a good workout, I'm burning calories. Therefore, if I take in less calories for me, I have the potential for losing weight, which is great. So the only true reason why now I'm working out, because I know, is number 7. It benefits my mental health. All right. It releases endorphins because I'm doing some type of a workout. I'm doing cardiovascular activity that triggers releasing those endorphins. So therefore it reduces stress and anxiety, and it increases energy and promotes better sleep. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Next is supports digestive health. The motion can stimulate digestion and help relieve constipation. Well, that makes perfect sense, up and down. Well, I guess you're probably pushing down and getting that stuff where it needs to be so it can get out, which sometimes in the morning I could use some help. Or at that airline food. I don't know, you other pilots know what I'm talking about. It's pretty salty, it stays there. Or remember in the Army or the military, you got the MREs. Man, get on this thing, you'll deuce it up. So 9, it could be portable and convenient. I haven't tested out yet the folding capability, but I'm going to get that on camera to see how we can fold this thing together. This one does fold. There's 2 pins that you pull out, and then it should collapse. Hopefully it collapses the way it makes it real simple and I don't have to take the legs off because that would be added, but it is what it is. So the one thing that's interesting though, with it being convenient, is that I can get on this if I have the space, and I can do 2 minutes, and those 2 minutes are going to help be beneficial no matter what. I can get on there and do very light bounces, and everything that we just talked about before, I'm going to reap the rewards of that. And then last but not least, it talks about it being engaging. So fun and engaging. I think this is just a cool way to mix things up. I don't have to get on a treadmill. I don't have to get on a bike, one of those really high dollar freaking spin bikes. I can get on this. It's relatively inexpensive. Start bouncing around. Guess what I'm doing? I'm doing some good cardiovascular stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, the other thing that's super interesting about this, NASA conducted a study on rebounding and its benefits back in the 1980s. The research focused on how rebounding affects the body, particularly in relation to astronauts' physical conditioning after returning from space, where they experience muscle and bone loss due to microgravity. So, key findings from NASA's study, and this is, I did not know this, is super interesting, so I'm going to try to incorporate this. Number one, efficiency in the exercise. NASA found that rebounding is significantly more efficient than running for physical conditioning. All right, their research revealed that rebounding can be up to 68% more effective in achieving cardiovascular benefits. That's huge. I hate running. Oh, the Army made me hate running. But I'm going to tell you right now, if that's the case, and this can help supplement that and or even take more of the workload off my treadmill, I'm sure my treadmill will be happy. That thing's almost 25 years old. All right, so 2, the increased G-force. The study highlighted that rebounding generates a greater G-force on the body compared to running, which helps strengthen muscles and bones more effectively. So that will help in other areas where you're just, instead of taking a pounding, it's doing something where it's telling your body to start working on those areas. And human body is amazing. I've seen it do amazing things. It will adjust, it will adapt and overcome. This is a way to get that going. Number 3, they found low impact on joints. Well, the trampoline absorbs much of the impact, making rebounding a friendly exercise compared to running or other high impact activities, like a lot of CrossFitters out there. Those guys are like an orthopedic surgeon's dream. I went down to a CrossFit gym here the other day, and I noticed there was an orthopedic surgeon who had his office in one of the CrossFit gyms. Super smart. Gonna get a lot of business. 4, they found the lymphatic stimulation. This is from NASA. Rebounding's vertical motion produces lymphatic flow, all right, aiding in detoxification and in immune system support. So as we get older, especially with that huge thing that happened, the big C word that nobody likes to talk about, or whatever happened, it didn't happen. Well, jumping on this can help increase whatever your immune system is capable of doing based on everybody's different circumstances. So that's pretty cool. I had no idea about that. And then number 5, they say muscle and bone density improvement. The study emphasized rebounding as an effective way to counteract the loss of muscle and bone density that astronauts experience in microgravity environments. So if that's the case, as we're all getting older, we know that osteoporosis is losing bone density. So if that's the case and you can incorporate this into your workout, that you may be able to prolong that, right? So why NASA was interested. Astronauts face unique physical challenges during space missions due to prolonged periods in weightlessness environment. NASA needed an exercise that could help combat the effects of muscle atrophy and bone density loss, provide a full body workout in a low impact way, and then stimulate the lymphatic system for detoxification. That makes perfect sense, because if there is nothing there pumping stuff around and you're barely even moving around in space due to the low G, you need to have some way to get back in the groove, especially when you're in gravity on Earth. And they figured out that rebounding was the way to go. Pretty interesting stuff. The results of NASA study have since been cited widely in promoting the benefits of rebounding as a safe and effective form of exercise for people of all fitness levels, and is particularly valued for its ability to combine cardiovascular, muscular, and lymphatic health benefits in a single activity. So, potential, all of this is there. I didn't even know, Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins gets out, the motivational speaker. He gets on one of these things and he does about 10 minutes of this, anywhere 2 to 10 minutes before he gets out on stage. And it turns out he's got a huge history and a long thing with trampolines. The guy, I don't know if I know he's a real big dude. I don't know exactly how big, but he gets on that thing and he does a workout almost every single day. Not the specific one. I don't know which one he uses, but the point is he does it. So very interesting stuff. Plus you could probably see tons of other videos of people out there doing it. Trampolines have been around forever, since the circus. They've been doing a bunch of goofy stuff there. Down the street, my kid goes to this place that we pay a monthly membership, and we drop him off there with his friends and his buddies, and they're jumping around on huge trampolines that are really, really long, and I see other people jumping, doing flips. I'm pretty sure trampolines are going to be around for a long time, just like picking up weights or jogging. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is probably going to be a great supplement to the work. But anyway, enough talking about what rebounding is and how great of NASA studies are and all that stuff. Let's get into unboxing this, putting it together, and see what I truly think. Well, this is what the thing looks like when it comes from the factory in a sweet box. It's completely taken apart except for the actual material that's around that you jump on, the stretchy material. So lay everything out, get yourself a nice smooth working area. This is out by my pool deck, worked real well for me. Yeah, this box here that has all the legs in it, and the tape on there was really strong, and it was literally kicking my butt. And I've got scissors right there, and I finally figured out that I needed to use those. Now, I'd only say that there's probably two difficult parts of assembling this whole thing. And first of all, was unfolding it. It did take a little bit of strength. Make sure you get those safety pins in that I'm showing you. You don't want the thing to uncollapse on you. The next is this part where you're putting the bungees in. You use this triangle piece of metal, and first you hook the bungee, and you put it underneath that black pole right there, and you use the small end of the bungee, the small end of the triangle, to flip it around, and bam, uses leverage, and you go ahead and you repeat it 400 more times. Make sure you don't miss any of the bungees. Go and take your time and look through them all, and make sure you do that so you can move on to the next step, which is putting the legs on. It's pretty simple. You just put 8 of them on there and screw them on. So here I go. This was my first time actually using it, and I was very shocked at how comfortable it was and how much noise it didn't make, and it was extremely stable. Mind you, I weigh about 240 pounds, 250 after the holidays here. This thing was not even budging, not even moving, so that's a good sign. So word to the wise, when you're kind of trying to fold this thing down, be very careful, and it will snap back on you if you're not careful. But you can see I broke it down. You have to take the legs apart, and that's how much space it'll take when you want to store it. The cool thing about this is I'm actually getting a pretty decent workout. You can see I'm kind of, alternating my legs here and kind of getting a feel for it and trying to see all the different things that I can do with this. The great news is that, once again, I was not out of breath. You can see I'm actually watching a Christmas movie right here as I'm, kind of getting used to this thing. And surprisingly enough, the filming of this right here, I went for a total of 30 minutes without even realizing it. And I cooked up a really good sweat. So that's an extremely important part of how I think this is going to be beneficial for any single person that wants to buy one of these things. So I'm thoroughly impressed, and you can't go wrong for the price. I believe it fluctuates anywhere from 125 all the way up to 130, maybe 140 bucks. But this one by Bakan that was sent to me is very durable, it's made very well, and I'm probably going to be most likely incorporating this into my workout consistently. Another positive thing about this is that I can easily do this inside the house, use this bungee Bakan rebounder, And the greatest thing is it's not bugging anyone. These bungees are extremely quiet. Somebody could be sitting on the couch right now and I wouldn't be bugging them except for out of the corner of their eye because I'm bouncing up and down right next to them. But otherwise, the sound would not be an issue. Well, I hope you found the video informative about rebounding. And if you're looking into rebounding, there's a lot of different tramps out there. You might want to check out this account. I got a link in the description below. If you have any questions, go ahead and hit them down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, tons of more content coming out, especially for working out. New Year's resolutions are right around the corner. I hope you guys are figuring out what yours are. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. John the Pilot. I'll be seeing you. See ya. See ya. See ya. See ya. See ya.